Extradited from Britain to the US on Friday have pleaded not guilty in a court in the state of Connecticut. Baba Ahmed and Saeed Tallah Hassan are both accused of conspiracy to support terrorists in Afghanistan and Chechnya. Three other suspects, including the radical Muslim cleric Abu Hamza, are due to appear later today in a court in New York. From there, Alistair Leithhead now reports.
Arriving in the dead of night after years of legal challenges. After landing on American soil, Abu Hamza was taken directly to a maximum security holding cell. He and two other men, also wanted by the US on terrorism charges, are now being held here in New York ahead of their first court appearance. Two others, also extradited, have already pleaded not guilty elsewhere and were jailed until their trial.
Just do it! Anything will happen if I don't do it!
In the 1990s, Abu Hamza used London's Finsbury Park Mosque as a platform for his messages of hatred. At first dismissed as just a troublemaker, his angry sermons went on to inspire acts of violence. Abu Hamza's extradition to America is to face 11 charges relating to hostage-taking, conspiracy to establish a militant training camp, and calling for holy war in Afghanistan. The terms of his extradition mean he cannot be given the death penalty. Abu Hamza is due to appear at this federal court for the start of a long legal process. It's 8 years since the US first requested his extradition, 4 years since the British government approved it, and the question he's left behind is, why did the process take so long?
This has been a deeply frustrating process. These individuals have been are said to have undertaken some very, very serious crimes. They're terrorist suspects, and we should be able to, and most people would say we should be able to see them being removed from this country in a rather shorter process.
For years, Abu Hamza has been the face of Britain's battle against extremism. Now it's America which seeks to bring him to justice. Alistair Leithhead, BBC News, New York.
A short time ago, I spoke to our correspondent in New York, Barbara Plett. I asked her what would happen now to Baba Ahmed and Saeed Tallah Hassan.
Well, they're going to be arraigned in court, and then they're going to see trial in Connecticut, and so there'll have to be a pre-trial conference sorting out when the trial happens, and then if they are convicted, the possibility is that they will be sent to what's called a supermax prison here, a very high security prison where they could be facing a quite lengthy solitary confinement. That, of course, was one of the grounds that they used to argue against extradition, saying that that would be inhumane treatment, grounds that the European Human Rights Court overturned. But we won't be seeing this happening all that quickly, I don't think. This is just the beginning of the trial process here.
And is that exactly the same for Abu Hamza as well?
Well, it's unlikely that he would be sent to such a prison if he were convicted because of his disabilities, but he hasn't yet appeared in court, so the whole process hasn't yet started with him. He's going to appear, be presented in court here in Lower Manhattan in a few hours' time, and then he is going to be arraigned on Tuesday. And the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan has released a statement saying what his charges are. He is being charged in connection with kidnappings in Yemen in 1998, with advocating jihad in Afghanistan in 2000 and 2001, and also he has been charged with a conspiracy to establish a terrorist training camp in Oregon. Again, as you heard in the package that just played, this is going to be a civilian trial, and it could take place over weeks and months. The other two suspects will also be presented to court here in Manhattan today and arraigned, and they will face separate trials.
Do we know why three of them are going through the process in New York and two of them are upstate in Connecticut?
Yes, the two in Connecticut are charged with running a website that advocated jihad, recruited terrorists, or recruited fighters for Chechnya and for Afghanistan, and provided material support to these conflicts. So they had argued that this was a British crime, really, if in fact it was a crime, because the websites were operated in Britain, but the internet service provider for at least one of those websites was based in Connecticut, and it's on those grounds that the U.S. said that they had jurisdiction over this case, and that is why they are being tried in Connecticut.
Barbara Plett.